Hey guys, subscribe for daily content. And if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another short little unboxing video to share with you guys. I am exceptionally excited. So Vosteed has very quickly become like one of my top tier brands for value. I am a knife collector and I love the wild and crazy exotic stuff. I love that, it's cool. But I really get riled up when there's something released that is just absurd value. Everybody likes that. It's great for everybody. And I love to see companies doing stuff like this. Vosteed has done it many times and they don't show any signs of slowing down. Now, I think many of you have seen these knives before. This is the first time that I'm checking them out. And I saw them on Blade HQ and I thought, these look great. So I can't wait to open them up and share with you guys. These are available. You can buy them. I'll link them down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links, but that's up to you. Thanks to Vosteed for sending them in. Which one do we want to start with? Which one? I want, where's the picture? Yeah, okay. This is the one we're going to start with. Is it sealed? Yeah, of course it is. We got to break the seal, right? Okay. So this first one here, I'm pretty sure is called the Porcupine. And it's on the smaller side, but that's okay. It's actually a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. That's very cool. Yes. Okay, kind of right off the bat, giving me a little bit of Giant Mouse vibes. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Giant Mouse always has really good, like aesthetics here. So we have a nice pivot collar, probably aluminum, blue micarta. We have, of course, mounting positions for the pocket clip on both sides because Vosteed is full of intelligent people from my experience. Thank you very much. Lefties will very much appreciate that. Big old Spyderco style lanyard hole, that's fine, take it or leave it. T8 hardware, looks like, very good. And look at that pivot. Nice decorative show side pivot. And then T8 for the screw over here. Oh, Vosteed. I'm so happy. I think this is what I think it is. So we have a profile that has become exceptionally popular in the knife world, right? We got the Shaman, we got the Moyara, we got however many, there's a bajillion of them, right? That's great. This is a profile that works. Ergonomics, they are as wonderful as you assume they are. They're fantastic. We have a button lock. Oh, but wait, no. Not just any button lock. We have a button operated, is it the top liner? I think it is. Let's see where it engages. Yes, it is a top liner lock. Thank you. Yes. This has been out for a bit. I know you guys are like, why did you've been sleeping under a rock? Like, wake up. This has been around. Why is that such a big deal? Number one, the detent, when you're not dealing with a plunge lock, which is fine. If you have a plunge lock and you love it, it's a button lock, a regular button lock, and it works, that's fine, right? Number one, detent improvement, because it actually has a detent ball, which means it has that click and snap we look for. It also, in my opinion, makes it much more reliable on deployment. Number two, this is not the cylindrical, I put an R in there, sorry about that. It's not the typical cylindrical plunge lock system where you have that engagement, which is fine. If you're using a knife like a regular pocket knife, you're not doing anything crazy with it, right? Not that, I'm saying you're just cutting things. It's fine. However, light spine pressure sometimes can cause those locks to disengage. So there's been a big call for a change. Button-operated liner locks, button-operated frame locks, and the superior way to do it is a button-operated compression lock. Why? What's different about that? Many of you know, but if you're new, instead of this lock, which right here you can see, the button actually pushes a whole piece of steel right here, right? Now, a liner lock will engage underneath the ting of the blade like this, right? That's a liner lock. With a compression lock, which Spyderco has used forever, but the patent's up on it, so companies like Vosteed can utilize it. The engagement is actually behind, right here. It falls in place behind. This creates for much better strength and reliability. A liner lock still, while both of these systems are still heavily dependent on proper geometry, the way that the lock engages means that pressure on the spine is far less likely to disengage the lock. These systems, over many, many years, proven by Spyderco, are substantially more reliable. And everybody is familiar with the Vosteed Raccoon, one of the very best budget knives you can get. Now we have a contender in their own line. This is great. Tells me that Vosteed's like, hey, these are great. We're going to keep doing them. Awesome next in line sort of super budget knife. I'm hoping that this ends up right around the same price as the Raccoon. I think this is excellent. Please continue to do this. The button-operated compression lock is such a wonderful idea. I cannot believe that not every single company in existence is doing a budget line with this locking system. It is definitely the way to go. I love this. This is so far a huge thumbs up for me, and I have a feeling that it's going to be an excellent value. Now, Vosteed doesn't stop with a lock that was already created by somebody else and they can just conveniently implement it now that the patent is up. They actually have another locking system that they developed that you guys are probably familiar with. Now this one, I think, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the Akita. I think. This is the one that I freaked out about on Blade HQ because of how it looked. Yes. Yes, with the V-anchor or the Vanker lock. I believe, if you're not familiar with that, I have a video on this. It's a big rectangular locking tab that gets sucked into place by a magnet. Sorry, there's a little cringy way to say that. But this also engages not exactly the same way as a compression lock, but it's kind of the same idea. But that lock is further held in place by a light magnet. And the amount of material in that locking system is very substantial. There's quite a few videos on YouTube of the V-anchor or Vanker lock standing up to some pretty serious abuse. So the fact that they are implementing these locking systems on knives that are not insanely expensive is a very good move. This comes in a wide variety of different anodized colors. This is a green, I think this is titanium. Is it? I can't, it's either aluminum or titanium. I'll let you guys look. This isn't the review, right? But, oh, wonderful, wonderful action. The other benefit of the V-anchor lock is that you actuate the locking system via the pivot, and the action is so smooth. So you get that benefit here, but you get that extra lock. God, this is so good, so good. Now, with the choked up spot, you do have to keep your finger away from that pivot, right? Back here or here, you should be fine, but you have to be cognizant and not push down on that locking system. Left-handed people, while you can switch out to the other side, because this system is, like the disengagement is the pivot, you also have to be careful when you're choking up because the pad of your finger is over here. On these knives where the pivot is the actuation, it's not so much the same thing with something like this because of where the button is positioned. You can see here, even in the choked up position, there's nothing directly on top of it. This is a little further down, so you have to watch out for it. Probably some sort of safety switch, right? Something that keeps that lock from disengaging, which is annoying, but also it might be something that people would enjoy. Still though, very, very stylish, very cool. Love the big opening hole. This is S35VN that has been polished. Given Vosteed's track record, I would venture to guess that the price on this is going to be pretty amazing. I do love that pocket clip. I think Vosteed really, really knows how to do an excellent pocket clip, so that's great. Got a nice big standoff back here, and then like I said, they consider left-handed people, which is great. This also has a front flipper, and it has a detent that feels very similar to a detent ball. I'm not sure exactly. I'd have to go back and watch. Didn't the PSYOP, was it PSYOP that had this? Something like that. But this system has that satisfactory, that very satisfying deployment, the click, release, and then here, I'll just show you guys kind of how this looks. Oh yeah, that's exactly what you want. Very, very cool. Two wonderfully sized objects and almost certainly priced in a way that will make people who want to spend money in this tier, it'll make them very, very happy. Vosteed is making not only high quality products, they're making reliable and dependable products for people who want a nice knife, but they want to make sure that it's not just like, oh, I can only cut, simple stuff because I don't want the lock to disengage. And I'm not claiming that these are going to be as strong as the Triad lock, but the way that these locking systems engage, and based on the wide community testing, these are great. It's awesome that we have more dependable, stronger locking systems that are being developed on knives that you don't have to pay a ton of money for. A ton of money? People will be quick to point out Cold Steel has always done that. True. But they also have kind of cornered that market, and everybody else has been using the same kind of ho-hum systems for a long time. I love this. I think Vosteed has a bright future. I think everybody knows that. I'm not saying anything that people don't already know. I'm going to give you guys some quick measurements here, and then you can expect full comprehensive review. I'm going to carry and use both of these knives. They're going to be users. But yeah, 7 1/8 on the Porcupine, and then the Akita, unless I'm getting the names incorrect, is also about 7 1/8. Akita's got roughly maybe a 2.95 inch blade. The Porcupine has a 3 inch blade, so just slightly different there, but wonderful. Very, very good. Big fan of this. It's got sort of a perimeter, and then it's a perforated texturing. I think that is so, so cool to look at. And because the texturing is indented, right, it's perforated, there is no change. Shouldn't be hardly any change as far as the in and out of the pocket experience. Is super smooth. Just trust me. I know you couldn't see it. Super smooth, though. The wire clip, not everybody's favorite, but in and out of the pocket, it's a breeze. Really, really good stuff. If you're going to take a basic and tried and true time-tested profile, right, very basic stuff, the added benefit here is the locking system, and of course Vosteed's superior fit and finish quality control, and then their awesome proprietary locking system. That's where you're getting that value, which is great. I'm a big fan of value, especially moving into 2025. We're all going to be dealing with expensive, more and more expensive things. So Vosteed clearly fighting to keep that value there, and I like that. As a knife reviewer, that's a big deal to me. I want to showcase this stuff here. So very cool. Huge thumbs up for Vosteed. Awesome stuff. I'll link them down in the description. That's going to be it today. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on the Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.